Hey guys, welcome back to the shop. Today is going to be the first video in our series of building our new rally car. I'm not sure what it's going to be titled yet, but by the time you see this video, it should have a title. I haven't thought of a name for the car at this point in time, but we are going to be turning the green GC into the new rally car. So let me take you around here for a minute. So a couple years ago, you guys got to see us build the white rally car, which is actually right outside the door still. That's one we're currently using, but this is my new donor for the next version of the rally car. Nothing wrong with the white car that we currently have. Actually, you can hear Tim coming in the background. So Tim's going to be on the video starting to take this thing apart. This car is running and driving, factory 5-speed. It's in good condition, air conditioning works, heaters and everything. It's very, very clean underneath, which you guys will see later. In the engine bay and everything, and all the panels are straight. It just needs some work. So we're going to start the process of turning this into a rally car, which involves taking everything out. All the glass, the roof, the panels, the interior, the engine, wiring. It's going to be a bare shell. So I'm going to throw you guys up in the tripod while I'm working on this, and we're going to start gutting this. Alright, so as you guys saw in the time lapse, my friend Tim came over and was working on gutting the car. You probably saw the pile of parts building up back there. We put those in the truck and I emptied them this morning. And then I've been working on Oscar's Hawkeye. It's getting this 6-speed that we rebuilt. This is a 2005 STI transmission. So last night I kind of got it ready. I mocked the shift linkage up. We do a little mod where we grind down this ridge right here so that the shifter fork that comes here, this U-shaped piece, you can actually get the bolt on in the car. Otherwise you can't do it with that, and it's a pain in the butt. So we sand that down a little bit, and then it's easier to put on in the car. I put a new Group N 6-speed transmission mount on there, and this thing's about ready to go. Sorry, battery died. So yeah, we're mocking up the shift linkage, so we're missing this piece, so I can't put the transmission in yet. I mean, I can, but it's way easier to put the spring pin in this hole while the transmission's out, and there's no sense in making it harder on me since there's other work to be done. So on the inside, I got all the upgraded bushings in, the trim pieces back in, and the 6-speed is ready to go. The boot came unglued on him, so I'm going to re-glue that, and then we got a bunch of other parts to put in. So this is kind of being worked on the side. Tim made a lot of progress on the green car yesterday. As you can see, we have taken off all the interior pieces except for the front door panels. I have somebody that wants these, so I wanted to be extra careful with them and make sure that we don't break the clips. But carpet's out, a little bit of insulation left. That stuff didn't come up with the floor. Some of it came up there. Rear seats and seatbelts are out. We kind of stopped at the trunk because we had a full pile for the truck and it was getting late. So we're going to get back at it today. Next goal is going to be removing all the airbag stuff with the yellow connectors, removing the heater and air conditioning core on the seatbelts, door panels. This car has to stay a roller until we bring it to Rise Fab, so I'm going to leave the steering column and the main dash bar in because the steering column bolts to it. And then we will take the motor and the transmission out, but we'll leave the subframes and wheels so that we can still roll it. So this 2.2's coming out. This one looks in really good shape, so I'll probably take some pictures of it and see if anybody is in the market for one. And then we'll get the battery out of here. So everything in the engine bay can come out, including all the brake lines and everything. But to keep it a roller, if it's not going to be in Chris's way, we'll probably end up leaving that stuff and just taking off the fuel lines from the rail, the engine, the air conditioning stuff, the air filter boxes, radiator, and all that stuff. That way when he ties in the strut towers, you know, the stuff's not in the way, but we'll probably leave the brake lines so that we can stop when we're rolling this thing. And then once we get it back, we'll be taking the subframes off and every fuel line and brake line out of the car. The ones that run internally will get pulled away from there for the cage and they'll get replaced. And then we'll probably run braided lines everywhere. But yeah, the car's looking pretty good. The interior of the car looks really clean. It's always a nice check once you got them to make sure that all the strut towers and everything look good. I checked this car out before I bought it, but it's always good to check. So if you could remember the blue WRX wagon, it had a little bit of quarter panel rust, but unfortunately when I took the back seats out, the strut towers were rotted out. That's why we never caged that car. So yeah, this is in progress. So later on, in the next few clips, you'll see us finishing the removal of this, gutting the trunk. I don't know if we'll get to the motor tonight or not. I got a couple things to do on this car. We may end up pulling the motor on this weekend. Depends on how much Tim gets done. But we may start on it, so I'll throw you guys back up in the time lapse and then we're gonna get some more work done. Engine's out, wiring harness is all out. Car's completely stripped. And now it's the fun part again. Dry ice. Getting all the sound deadening out. So, the car has a lot of it. We got both of these, the trunk. Gonna need a bunch. Okay guys, forgot to throw it on the time lapse yesterday when we were getting the sound deadening out, but it's a pretty boring process. But as you can see, we got about 98–99% of everything out. We didn't take all the seam sealer off because we're gonna have the car sandblasted to get all the paint off when it gets back, but at least this way Chris has room to weld. And once the cage is in, it's gonna be harder to work with, so we went and punched out all the caps on the floors and got all the sealant off of those so that we can weld those closed. Took all the harnesses out. We left the brake box, the pedal box in, so we have brakes, and the bash bar is loosely in place so that we can steer the car. But everything is empty, and we'll show you under here. So trans is gone, engine's gone, almost all the accessories and everything are out except for the brake distribution block and the booster, just so that we have brakes. We'll drop the subframe and everything out once we get to once we get it back from Rise Fab. And the trunk is empty as well, so it is ready to go. We got the trailer. We're gonna winch this thing on, get it over to Rise Fab. He didn't want any doors on it. They're gonna pull the glass when they get there, and he said we don't need to take the roof off, so it's ready to go. Well, that was pretty easy. It's hard to get the trailer backed up to this part of the shop, but it's on the trailer, ready to go. Last time we'll see this for a few months. Look at that Acadia green where it doesn't get touched by the sun. Car's in really good shape, no rust anywhere.